Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Wayne Moore, aka Mortanius, and we are back with some Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. When we last left off, we had managed to finally acquire ourselves a legendary gunsmith, and we'll now be in the process of modifying our gear to take advantage of that. Once that's done, we'll be moving on to capture ourselves a Afrikaans interpreter. Folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, and subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment. Check out some of my other playlists. In the process of a playthrough of The Surge, as well as a playthrough of a Prototype Remastered series. A playthrough of the Telltale's Batman series of game right now. It's Batman and the Enemy Within, as well as a playthrough of Batman Arkham Knight.
Please specify a project.
And a playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered as well. Moving my way through the Dark Souls series. Wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's get into this. So that rifle is done, you say? We'll let some of these tapes play while we're customizing.
Cypher gave the specimen the name Sahelanthropus, man of Sahel. And then they covered the whole thing up.
Why?
They probably wanted to monopolize information lived about 7 million years ago. What's significant about it is how its skull's foramen magnum faces down. In other words, its spinal column supported its head from underneath.
It stood upright.
Right. Which would mean Sahelanthropus walked upright 3 million years before Australopithecus, making it the world's oldest human species.
Walking upright. I get it. Purpose for your machine.
Walking upright was the decisive difference between our ancestors and other anthropoids. Our brains could get heavier once they were supported by the spinal column. That led to the use of tools and the development of complex communication through language. Only man is capable of this. My creation will be the progenitor of all bipedal weapon platforms.
And you did this for Cypher?
No, not at all. Sahelanthropus is the best proof that I never betrayed you guys.
What do you mean?
The reconstructed Sahelanthropus skull looked exactly like the skull we used as our logo 9 years ago in the Caribbean.
An army without a nation. Outside the world order.
The design was based on Pangaea, the supercontinent that existed 250 million years ago, right?
Yeah. When the world was a single landmass. That concept's at the source of our strength.
I felt the same way about Sahelanthropus. Sure, I was forced to build it under their orders, but I always wanted to put its technology back in our hands someday. That's the reason I incorporated the old insignia into Sahelanthropus's name. Don't you see? That's how much I was thinking about you guys.
Oh, I see, all right. I see someone desperate to cover his ass. You can say whatever you want after the fact. But that skull also symbolizes somebody else. Skullface.
Snake, you finally came. Just don't record this, okay?
Not recording anything. What's this about?
What I'm about to say stays between you and me. It's about the weapon to surpass Metal Gear. You know a researcher by the name of Clark? He works in the biotech industry, real advanced stuff. His area is bioengineering, but lately he's also gotten into genetic research.
Never heard of him.
Well then, what do you know about cloning?
I think I've heard enough.
Hold on, this is important. Cloning lets you create a genetic copy of an organism. You take the nucleus of one of its cells, and you swap it with the nucleus of an unfertilized egg from another member of the same species. They started out working with plants, but since then they've had success with other organisms, including mammals. It's a hot area for a lot of places right now. Corporations, universities, research groups. There's no shortage of scientists out to get famous and patent their work, with morality taking a back seat.
Isn't that a little outside your field?
It's got nothing to do with my research. But I thought it might be of interest to you. Cloning, and Dr. Clark, I mean.
Go on.
Now, this is really highly classified stuff. But I've heard that an American biotech company has successfully cloned a human being. What's more, it happened over 10 years ago. And the researcher behind it was Dr. Clark. You've really never heard of him?
I don't meet many doctors.
This Dr. Clark is a complete ghost, even to others in his field. His age, where he comes from, that might not be his real name. And I can't even say for sure he's a he. Clark's employer, ATGC, its company motto is embracing your hopes, preserving talent.
What does this have to do with me?
Cypher. Dr. Clark works for ATGC, and they have connections to DARPA. Cypher couldn't function without the communications network DARPA's built. Meaning, Cypher has to be a part of the Pentagon. Or at least, the two are joined at the hip. DARPA is a driving force behind human cloning. It's a pretty high priority project for them. And this Dr. Clark, some say he's a pivotal player in Cypher. But that's not all. Every cell nucleus in an organism contains the genetic information for that organism. Think of it as a blueprint for life. Clark appears to be working on how to decode this information and rearrange it at will. If you could do that, it would mean being able to custom design human beings for specific purposes. Can you believe that? Suppose for a moment that this is all fact. A man of your talents, if your genetic information died with you, that would be a terrible loss for mankind. But what if mankind could preserve you for future generations by cloning you?
All right, enough. I get the idea.
Look, I know it's inductive reasoning, but this weapon to surpass Metal Gear they're developing in Africa, I believe it's something that uses this new technology. Speaking as a fellow scientist, that drives us to tweak the design. Can you imagine that? Genes encoded with information that wants its children to decode it. Is life itself putting the direction of our next evolution in the hands of scientists? I guess it would take some real arrogance to believe that. And yet, it could be what Cypher's after.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree. But that was an interesting story. It'd make a good movie.
You have to believe me.
Where'd you hear all this anyway?
Where? I... Wait a minute. Look, I want to help you. I want to be of service here. I'm risking my life with this.
Is that so? Maybe it's time we brought someone else into the conversation.
No, not him. A lot. You can't do this.
I don't think he likes Ocelot.
Development project has been...
The name Big Boss has become known the world over. What do you mean? Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes. A warning? Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that. I never said any of that. The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary. You've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did. And stand up to Cypher. Of all the stupid things you could do, you'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of staying. It's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business. Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in South Africa. That's also where the closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action. And we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola, fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, groups of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. PFs expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.
Unit dispatched.
Whoa, you did?
Please select a mission.
That did. What? All of them? Yeah, it even said it. Wow. Damn, game. Knowing that mission was almost done. comes down to fuel.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched.
Alright.
Please select a mission.
There's a violent power struggle going on within the contract forces of Africa, the PF that grants security for the Mafinda oil field. Most of their key people are Afrikaners, but naturally for a South African organization, some of its founders are British. Details are sketchy, but apparently the Afrikaners are holding these British personnel for interrogation near Kaziba camp. We've been asked to rescue one of them, a man known as the Viscount. We don't have the Viscount's exact location, but he doesn't speak the Afrikaners' language, Afrikaans. They'll need an interpreter who speaks English in order to interrogate him. Meaning if we tail the interpreter, he'll lead us right to the target. By the way, the contract specifies that it's all right to ignore the other British prisoners. But the final decision is yours, boss.
Avoid the other prisoners. Why? I mean, other than you obviously wanting to keep yourself safe. Why? Truly.
Happy birthday with salutations. Happy birthday, may your sky stay blue. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Snake! Happy birthday, boss.
That's sweet. This is a bunch of people that want to get shot. You think that will be sort of a good luck charm kind of thing?
Happy birthday, Snake. Oh. Happy birthday, Snake.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. All right, now let's get back to shooting stuff. Enough with all this sentimental stuff. That's too bad. It don't look like I'm getting my cigar. What the hell, Kyle? You know, I had heard about that, but I'd actually forgot about it. And what's so bad is, I think about it now, and I think I am actually supposed to get my cigar. I think that was something I missed. That's the thing.
Roger.
I had to check and see what it was.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at OC.
Someone will set shortly.
Happy birthday. This is B-Quad. On station at LC.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Alright, P-Quad, I'm on my way.
Quiet's being held in a cell on the medical platform.
Yes,
She's been out on more than one occasion, but she always comes back on her own. Maybe out of loyalty to you.
Well,
Gaining altitude.
loyalty does do things to people. Especially when it's loyalty built from other things. Ain't that perfect timing? Active sonar just as I'm closing the plane. Alright. Got a little CC. Can see the weapons you build. What the hell is that? Hold up. No. No. What? Okay. Must be one of them weird instances where the game doesn't properly register it.
Clouds approaching.
Yep, must be. Alright, let's go get ourselves an interpreter.
Please select a mission. Mission heading to Central Africa.
Yeah.
Heading
No.
to Central Africa.
Be useful, but no.
Deploying.
When folks had a sneeze, I'll come at it from the other end. I usually come at it from that one. It kind of places you smack in the middle of the action, or at least a little ways away, but if you stick to the path it wants you to, it'll take you straight to the center of everything. Easy.
Several high-level British CIA officials are being held by their Afrikaner colleagues. One of these prisoners is the rescue target, a guy known as the Viscount. The target's location is unknown. They're bound to have an interpreter present when they interrogate him. We've used info from the intel unit to predict the interpreter's location. It's on your iDroid. Follow the interpreter and extract the target when you find him. The target's location is unknown. They're bound to have an interpreter present when they interrogate him. Follow the interpreter and extract the target when you find him. Be careful down there, boss. When you use a weapon, be careful not to draw the enemy's attention.
Please select a mission.
One of the other prisoners might know where they're holding the target. An okapi. Only found in the wild in one stretch as I hear. Today must be your lucky day, boss.
Well, there it is. I'm not doing that. I might have got you, but apparently not. I need you sleeping, my friend. I'm not wasting a suppressor. You ain't even gonna get me caught out there.
The time doesn't stop while you use the iDroid. You can even move around while using it, but pay attention to your surroundings.
Alright, let's try this again.
One of the other prisoners might know where they're holding the target. The CFA are all business. Hard to believe they're interrogating their own. Situation must be worse than we thought. Make a wrong move, and they could kill the target without warning.
It don't make any sense to me if they're all business.
Is being updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Slow down. I said crouch.
Enemy
Not keep sprinting.
analysis. The map has been updated. Caution, rain of
Afrikaans is the lingua franca for Mercs. Interpreter. Don't extract the interpreter just yet. If he doesn't turn up, they won't be able to get any use to them. They won't hesitate to kill him.
Uh-huh.
He found the interpreter. Now follow him to the target.
analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Perfect. Very much perfect. Decreases sound and light. Only issue is that it'll destroy a box before too long.
Stop! Stay! What's the cost?
This is your last chance.
Die MPLA se olieveldrek. Waar die inligting vandaan?
For MPLA's oilfield rights, where did you get this information?
I only don't. It was an anonymous source.
It was an anonieme bron.
Woody! Football fight.
You're not fooling anybody.
That's any of the others. Nobody knows anything.
Jy sê jy moet die ander probeer vra.
O, wil het saam storie op. Dit is kom jy nie Britte kan vertrou. Weet jy hoe Afrikaans met die hele geleide is?
You made up a story with the others. You British are all liars. You know how much the Afrikaners suffer was doen voor hoor.
That wasn't me.
Hy sê dit was nie hy.
Maar dit was julle wat ons verraad het.
But it was you that betrayed us.
It wasn't me. It was the Viscount.
Genoeg! As jy niks weet nie, is ons seker klaar.
The Viz count, as he put it, huh? I guess they weren't used to that term by this point.
So, our rescue target was behind some kind of plot.
Ek verstaan nie. Ek
Right.
verstaan nie.
Afrikaans is the lingua franca. Boss, I did some digging, and it seems the target himself gave us this mission through a representative. Obviously, he couldn't contact us directly due to his predicament, but still, something about this Viscount doesn't add up. That's not the target. Orders are only the Viscount gets rescued.
And
Can't understand why he received special treatment, but I don't imagine it'll be a problem to save the other prisoners too.
rain, don't go away. Stay as long as you want to today.
That prisoner you extracted wasn't the target, but we did get some information. Seems the prisoners aren't held together, and the cells and interrogation rooms are separate places.
wouldn't. I actually kind of figured that one. Be weird to keep somebody outside with guards on them all day long. And not be able to really do anything about it.
Analysis complete.
A dumpster. Looks big enough to hide somebody.
Analysis
You could stash a downed enemy in there, or hide in it yourself. Just don't stand too close to me afterward.
placed. Development complete.
Uh-huh.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Looks like it might be finna stop raining.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Ik wil niet trek nie.
Will clear shortly.
Alles in orde. Nou het julle albei met my gesels. Maar julle het die inligting oor die MPL as olifant regtig gekry.
Now you will both talk.
Goed. Die burggraaf kan ons die res vertel.
And a Viscount can tell us the rest.
Wait, she had nothing to do with this.
Moenie bekommerd wees nie. Die hel is groot genoeg vir julle albei.
Analysis complete.
All right. This. Move, boy. 'Cause you ain't finna have me lose friendship for this. Shit. Somebody saw me do it. No, you don't.
Analysis complete.
Oh, wrong rifle. Dunk.
Police supplies requested. Analysis complete.
Shut it up.
Supply drop complete.
Okay. That prisoner wasn't the target either. We got some more information, though. They're going to interrogate the target at night.
Yeah, this is why I hate this segment. It's real easy to draw attention you don't want, and that can throw those two off their pattern.
The target's field of movement.
You got some bad peripheral vision. Yep. Saw a dude pass out. I was trying to, that's why I didn't shoot him in the face, man. I was trying to wing him with a weapon of mass destruction. I need to get this rifle. No! The one I didn't want to kill. I need to catch up with them, because they're probably about close to the next one. Hey buddy, you're gonna have to go, that's just the way it is.
If you run into trouble, give us a call. We may be able to offer some advice.
Supplies requested.
Game, don't do this to me. Too many dead.
Map has been updated.
Go ahead and skip this since it's just a scan.
This is the list of prisoner detainment locations.
Intel file obtained. The map has been updated.
What was that? Sure, why not? I bet dog started to do something. Need to alter the sensitivity on this. Should have been down. Alright.
Analysis complete.
If you run into trouble, give us a call. We may be able to offer some advice.
See, that kind of thing can disrupt things. That attention may have disrupted their patterns, and because of that, I may not be able to hear the other conversations. Because they're all on some sort of alert. Yeah, make me feel a little better as I chunk you around. Oh, look at that, my finger slipped. Yep, it's looking like that is the case.
That looks like the target.
Has been updated. And our mission info has been updated. The map has been updated.
Or maybe not, we'll see. Alright, game. I thought so. Here if you want another suppressor. Where's it going? Like, damn, dude, hurry up. I want to smoke, but the second I do, he's gonna pop up because the clock is gonna go too fast. Anti-aircraft. Power grid is still intact. Don't remember if there's anything like that around here.
Good.
Good boy. Looks like they could be heading here specifically.
That's the rescue target known as the Viscount. But don't let that fool you. He's no aristocrat. He started out in the British Army's Scots Guards, moved on to the SAS, then became a mercenary and helped create the CFA. How he earned the moniker is unclear.
Former SAS, huh? Professional. Alright. Still short a prisoner. Oh, wait a minute. That was the 4 prisoners. Or this is the 4th. I think, including him. Maybe not. We'll see. See me? No, you don't. Come on, you know you do. Come on. You know you want to.
If you ready your weapon while crawling, you can move horizontally left or right. If you do that holding the dash button, you'll move faster.
Was wanting useful info, my friend, but while that's useful, not at this juncture. Okay, so what are we dealing with? Damn it. It may be just what I was worried about. Alright. Did that actually get you? I'm going to assume it did, cause yep, them hitboxes aren't that bad. Oh, he alright. He's just taking a nappy poo. I'm like, the physics of his no. Not just no. Hell no. Well, I just threw a monkey wrench in this whole mission. You'll make up for it though. You're definitely going through the window though. You? We'll go through the door. Sure. Why not? And I'll be nice and actually set you down on that slope so you can slide down and hit your head a couple of times as we go. Cool, cool.
He's coming too. Roger that. Target extraction confirmed. Get yourself out of the hot zone. By chopper or by land. It's your choice.
Mission info has been updated.
Yep.
The map has been updated.
Nope. I've got some shopping to do. Sure you can understand, sweetie. Head back to the Zebra camp once this is all done. Do some things and some stuff, blow some stuff and some things up. And then go from that breath. Who you hunting? You'll learn I'm the better hunter.
Spit it out.
Not yet, huh? That's cool. You say put your hands up. Put them up, hurry up. Don't get them nuts bit off, hurry up. I wasn't trained to fit in purses. I was trained to fit people in purses. Okay, so that was you. Might as well clear the place out. Yeah. It's weird, I feel like I'm missing somebody around here. Playing a game like this reminds me constantly of an old 360 game. You folks ever got the chance to play it? It's called Tenchu Z. Had its flaws, but honestly it was bomb. It was the kind of game where you can have an entire mission, but if you were skilled enough, you can move through the entire mission, not deal with anybody, and the only one you kill is your main target. Didn't really work wonders for your score, but you know. But if your desire was to simply be a ghost, that was the game to do it.
Leave the hot zone and find someplace safe.
Right, that's all you're gonna tell me is stuff based around that. Where are you?
Analysis complete.
They'd have to keep it somewhere very dry. Unless there isn't one around here. But I could swear there was. Clink.
Outpost captured.
And that sound is heard if there's anything in range to hear it. So it was just you, huh? That was left. Classic. Truly classic. Good lord. And that thing's gonna survive that massive trank dart, huh? Just lodged itself in between its ribs and probably punctured a lung or both. Well, you know, I'm not an anesthesiologist or an anesthesia expert of any kind. So, yeah. Oh, well, since everybody's been dealt with. Oh, wait. But I kind of want to get the power grid at the same time. Might as well. Found a weapon, huh? Oh, it's weapons everywhere, my friend. And what is this threat, you say? Hell. Oh. All right. I almost missed my tunes. Too shy, huh? Well, you better say something. Nothing wrong with being shy. There it is. Especially if it's the right kind of shy and it's not excessive, but if you want, you better say. Otherwise, the opportunity could pass you by when somebody else who isn't as shy as you comes along and says something. They made their move, and you can't exactly be mad at them for doing it. Yeah, I was looking at it a minute ago. Ah, okay, there it is. So you are...
Analysis complete. Marker placed.
You know what? Oh, wait a minute.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Yeah.
Caution, rain approaching.
Good. Gotta get back used to sniping. Good.
The map has been updated.
You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their
Just
air
hoping this
surveillance.
rain ain't gonna be too much of a problem.
Getting close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Exfiltrated.
All right.
Damn.
Out of the hot zone.
Destination.
No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
That is not how I wanted to leave. Was planning on grabbing those other two containers and leaving on top of one of them. That way I wouldn't have to do what I'm probably gonna have to do unless they decide to pull me back to the ACC anyway.
Unit function added. Development project has been added.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you'll actually break a sweat next time, huh?
Fox, Hey, if you say so, cuz.
Boss, one of the other British prisoners filled us in about the Viscount. It turns out he's a real two-faced son of a bitch. He was planning to secure the MPLA's oil field rights for himself in exchange for swapping the CFA's alliance from the anti-government United rebels to the state-backed MPLA. He hid this from the Afrikaners, but once he thought the jig was up, he tried to pin it on the other British personnel and take off. The Afrikaners captured him, and that was when he asked us to rescue him, and only him. I'll throw him in the brig for now, but we may have to be extra persuasive with this one. By the way, boss, we got some interesting news out of our friend the Viscount. He mentioned that more than a few PFs in the region have purchased walker gears. The CFA's the same. That's Soviet Army technology, and it's still a prototype. Only Cypher could be leaking it to the PFs. But the question is, why?
Partly it's useful to keep both sides
Good. You captured it alive.
in a stalemate, but it's also a very good way to determine what your enemy is and isn't capable of. And if push comes to shove and you know how to deal with the technology, you could just as easily shut them down if ever they decide to get uppity about it. They pay you for their own booby trap. It's just like the Mass Effect story. We used the technology the Reapers had, and as such, when the Reapers came for us, that wasn't a thing we could really do. Everything that we had, they knew about. How were we going to trick them with our own technology? We didn't. We had to buy time in order to be able to potentially answer a question. One of 4 questions, 5 actually. All right. Be glad when the game really opens up. Not too far now. Not too far. Still a ways though. Son of a bitch.
One of the latest missions to come in is connected to the walker gears. This could be our chance to close in on Cypher. Take a look at your mission list.
Now watch, I want both of these dudes for a job. I don't even know why I bothered. I got him to stop, but...
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Yeah, y'all good. I never like ending missions by driving out of the zone. Never like ending them like that.
Boss, I need to talk to you about this. Quiet. Can you meet me at her cell here on the base? Whenever's fine.
Been waiting on this. R&D has been upgraded and Intel has been upgraded. Yes, indeedy. You know, one thing I actually love about all of this, what you could do, and you can do it right now, but once you've got all of the platforms maxed out, just to kill a little bit of time, you can have Pequod take you between platforms, and it's a couple minutes ride depending on what it is you're doing, if all you're doing is trying to take a breath for a second or something. It has its uses. Sometimes I'll do that just to sit there and go through my development processes. Hey. Always reshuffle in case, excuse me, in case the new people you get are better, or in case you have wounded people. You know.
Please select a mission.
Both are done. We've
Unit
landed.
dispatched.
Get rid of the helmets.
Unit dispatched.
Oh, you decided to come with me, D? Not yet, huh?
Welcome back.
Love that little trick. But you folks who might wonder what I'm doing, if you're in range just enough, when you do that sonic pulse,
Promise you'll never let that one down.
you'll draw the attention of your men, and they'll do the little morale boost thing.
How you doing, boss?
That's just useless. Especially if your desire is not to chase down every single person. Alright, Kojima, what do you got?
She, refuses to wear clothes.
Mm-hmm.
The last staff member who tried to dress her, breathing through tubes.
I guess she likes her
Other than
independence.
that, she's completely cooperative. She understands English. She never speaks. What? Well, not with lungs, at least. She breathes through her skin. Clothing would suffocate her. Showers are okay, but she can't be submerged.
What's wrong with her?
She's drinking through her skin.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
You okay?
She's okay. She just can't move when she's taking in water. Look,
It's crazy, that's how she drinks, is literally sort of seizing all over the place.
see that? She hasn't eaten a thing since she got here.
She doesn't eat either?
Never. It's photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. That's the verdict from the medical staff?
No, jury's still out. It's the only explanation for what we've seen. The GRU had a man with that ability in its Cobra unit. Now, we don't think she's contagious. Some of the staff can't stomach her. It's starting to affect morale.
Well, it's
And she's never on a
understandable.
mission?
By herself? No. But as you know, she does have skill. Why not take her out on one of your missions? She seems to like you. Of course, only if you think she'll be useful. Next time you go out, you keep her in mind.
I mean, I can understand their issue. It's not necessarily justified that they cause her problems, but you have to think about it, dude. There's the tutorial for emblems for you folks, number 1. And number 2. You have to think about it, dude. The craziest thing these people saw was either the destruction of Mother Base 9 years ago, or hearing about the destruction of Mother Base on the news 9 years ago. And now they have a hyper sniper who can move across a battlefield in seconds, who can use both eyes to both track and kill, meaning she doesn't need backup, has greatly enhanced strength, doesn't need to eat. She can't be submerged, but who in God's name knows that, right? And all she needs is a little bit of water, and then she's back to killing again. What are you supposed to do about that but freak out? Again, doesn't justify creating problems, but it's not surprising. D-Dog, I'm so sorry there, buddy, old pal, old friend, but if I am correct at this exact moment right here, right now, it might When the time comes, I will collect all of this. But for now, it is of no extreme use. I love it, but it is of no use.
Please specify a project.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Looks like you've gotten used to working with Quiet. I don't see a problem with giving her some new weapons.
Q. Now, folks, I'm gonna warn you. I'm going to be taking Quiet with me for the next little bit. And if you folks and Quiet is extremely useful.
Sniper, there are two tasks you can give Quiet. The first is to infiltrate an outpost ahead and scout out the enemy's positions. The second is to send her to a sniping position and have her cover your infiltration. The kind of sniper support she'll provide will depend on the weapon you give her. Of course, this is all assuming she's willing to follow orders.
She's, well, here's that tutorial for the first one. Second one. And, of course, the third. She's useful, extremely. But in order to get the best out of her, you're going to have to level up her friendship and her equipment. Because right now, she's running around with pretty much one of the noisiest weapons in the game. And she has no suppressor for it until you either upgrade it later on with that bond at level 60, or you get the Guilty Butterfly and upgrade it with the bond at level 80, which is actually what I'm going for. As I was saying, if I could help it, non-lethal is going to be my goal when it comes to my methods. But again, if brains need to be put to pavement, it is what it is. I'd prefer not to, but so be it. I mean, I'm not getting shot. I'm not losing. I'm not having it. So, we go from there.
Please specify a
And the reason why I mention it is because she's probably going to draw. It's that reflex mode that you have, whether it's active or not. If she's aware, she'll take the shot, even if you knocked the guard out with Tranks or CQ. And it has a habit of letting people know there are enemies on the battlefield now. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people tend not to like Quiet, just for that one fact. Beyond that, she's honestly one of the best companions. She, you have to be careful with what you do with her, because she's not like D-Dog. She doesn't sniff enemies out inside structures. She can only see what can actually be seen outside. So you need to keep your head on the swivel. You need to keep your skills up. It's one of the reasons why I love her as a companion. You can't cut your brain off with her. D-Dog, it's cool that you cut your brain off with him, but you cannot cut your brain off with her. It will get you killed. It will get you caught. It will get you killed. Well, folks, it's going to be the end of episode 14 of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I have no idea. For some reason, my brain was trying to say Resident Evil. Don't you worry, at some point, that's definitely coming to the channel. Zombies have always been one of my favorite aspects of any genre, gaming or otherwise. Wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and God bless you.